Syrian Arab Army eliminates terrorists, most of them non-Syrian, in Damascus countryside, Al-Qunaitira, Aleppo and Latakia. Iran and Russia affirm that the USA has taken the step of combating terrorism on the basis of double standards. Iraqi troops kill scores of ISIS terrorists in Kirkuk and Tikrit. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our news for today. Units of the Syrian Arab Army targeted terrorist dens south of Aqraba in Damascus countryside, killing and wounding dozens of terrorists. The Syrian Arab Army also conducted a series of operations in Al-Qunaitira, attacking terrorist hideouts in 5 villages and destroying their vehicles and weapons, including heavy machine guns. Syrian Arab Army units also destroyed a convoy of cars used by terrorists, killing a number of them. In Dar'a, Syrian Arab Army units foiled infiltration attempts by terrorists into military points in Dar'a al-Balad, killing a number of them in Atman town. Units of the Syrian Arab Army killed and wounded a number of gunmen in Aleppo countryside, destroying the terrorists' weapons, rockets and ammunition. A military source said that Syrian Arab Army units targeted 8 terrorist positions in Aleppo city west of Aquaris, killing and wounding dozens of terrorists. The Syrian Arab Army also destroyed a car full of weapons and explosives and a base for launching rockets. In Latakia countryside, units of the Syrian Arab Army eliminated 17 terrorists, some of them non-Syrian, and wounded others in the towns of Khadra and Utaira. They also destroyed a warehouse full of rockets and ammunition in the area. In Damascus countryside, Syrian Arab Army units continued to make progress in Adr al-Balad and Jobar, killing and wounding dozens of terrorists.
Units of the Syrian Arab Army continued to make progress in Adr al-Balad, killing and wounding dozens of terrorists as they were trying to flee towards Douma town. Scores of gunmen were also killed in Tel Kurdi and Tel Sawan after the army destroyed their weapons and ammunition. In Jobar, army units attacked terrorist positions and dens, killing and wounding dozens of them. The army took control of several buildings and towns in the area.
Within the framework of combating terrorism, the USA and its allies have raided ISIS headquarters and gatherings in Al-Boukamal in DeirEzzor countryside at dawn today. A source in Al-Boukamal said the raids targeted the industrial town and other sites in the city. No details on the losses among the terrorists have been reported. In Aleppo, our news correspondent has meanwhile talked of airstrikes launched by the aircraft of the US and its allies on the area surrounding Ein-Arab in Aleppo northern countryside. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said that the USA has not listened to Russia and has taken the step of combating terrorism on the basis of double standards, calling on the US to fight terrorism wherever it exists and not through double standards, ranking the terrorists as good and bad. He wondered in an interview with the 5th Russian channel why the Americans didn't foresee the terrorist threat, adding that they didn't listen when they were called on to unify efforts and support the Syrian government and the national opposition to form a unified front against terrorism. The spokeswoman for the Iranian Foreign Ministry, Omardia Afkham, said The military attacks by the U.S. and its partners on ISIL targets inside the Syrian territories come as part of the preemptive operations in the region, which may create further complications, adding that such attacks constitute a violation of Syrian sovereignty and international laws and charters. She warned against such errors by the U.S. with regard to a double-standard approach to terrorism, like arming terrorist groups in the region. During his meeting earlier today with UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Iranian President Hassan Rohani criticized the US and its allies' airstrikes on ISIS positions in Syria, describing them as illegal because they were carried out without Syria's approval or the UN Security Council's permission. Admitting rather late the danger posed by terrorism in Syria that has been invading the country for about 4 years now, the UN Security Council has included more than 12 terrorists, including French and Saudi nationals, on the black list for collecting funds and recruiting men in favor of terrorist organizations in Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Tunisia and Yemen. According to the sanctions, embargo is to be imposed on weapons and travel, and the assets of the persons involved are to be frozen. The list includes an ISIS leader in Syria of an Iraqi nationality. He was an assistant of terrorist Abu Mus'ab al-Zarqawi, Al-Qaeda leader in Iraq. Iraqi troops killed 35 gunmen affiliated with ISIL terrorist group following airstrikes on their positions south of Kirkuk. The Iraqi army destroyed 4 vehicles south of Tikrit, killing all terrorists inside them. Meanwhile, ISIL terrorists destroyed historical sites and religious shrines in several areas, including Al-Arba'in Mosque in Salah ad-Din province. Iraqi forces meanwhile killed 10 ISIL terrorists and destroyed 4 cars during an air raid on Ad-Dulu'iyya area. Welcome back. The future objectives related to the drama industry in view of the problems facing this sector and the shortcomings that befell dramatic production recently have been the subject of the workshop that opened today by the General Establishment of Radio and TV Production at the Sheraton Hotel in Damascus.
A workshop on the future of Syrian drama TV production held by the General Establishment of Radio and TV Production opened today at Sheraton Hotel in Damascus with the participation of production companies, artists and workers in the Syrian drama industry. Addressing the workshop, Information Minister Omran Azabi referred to the present need of such activity in order to outline the future objectives related to the drama industry in view of the problems facing this sector. He pointed out that the way certain Arab sites dealt with the Syrian drama was far from being honest, describing it as being purely commercial. Director of the establishment, Mrs. Diana Jabbour, said Syrian drama is hoped to reflect our lives as Syrians and introduce the Syrian identity, which is the result of interreactions among our various social components.
Today we are meeting to discuss the situation of the Syrian drama. As we all know that this drama during the last years has made a very great and high achievements, and it could make a very good recognition not only in the Arab world but also in other countries where it was presented. Today, due to the circumstances that Syria is facing today, new responsibilities, new challenges are facing the Syrian drama and the people who are involved in this industry. That's why we are gathering today to discuss these issues and to make a paperwork which will guide us to the near future in order to put the Syrian drama and Syrian film on track again.
There is no doubt that such workshops are quite vital to develop Syrian drama production. practical steps are needed to implement the mechanisms that will result from it.
The two-day workshop discusses 4 axes that have hindered the progress of the Syrian TV drama production and the shortcomings that befell it recently, as well as the message and values it is supposed to promote, in addition to the ideas that may support it to make it deeper and ensure its spread on a wider scale.
Finally, the cultural activity sponsored by the General Directorate of Museums and Archaeology was launched today in Ebla to commemorate the 50th anniversary of discovering Ebla Kingdom. The activity will host a number of lecturers and experts in archaeology and historical sites with the participation of Italian researchers via Skype service. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, syriaonline.sy. Now to latest business and market news with Vani Ganjan, but after a short break.